Hey lovelies, I am so excited to share how I take someone new to my world and enroll them as a high ticket client in under 5 days. Do me a favor and drop the word new if this is the first masterclass you've ever watched of mine. Or drop the word follower if you've watched more than one of my free trainings or have been following me for a little while. What I'm sharing today isn't just theory. This is the reality in my business. In fact, more than half of my clients have enrolled within 5 days of finding me. They binge my content, then land in my DMs, ready to invest five or even multiple five figures without needing weeks or months of warming up. So, if you want to know how this is possible, that's exactly what I'll be sharing in this masterclass. I'll be sharing both the strategy and energetics behind taking someone from being a stranger to a client in 5 days. Now, I want you to imagine a complete stranger seeing you on their newsfeed. They are hooked by what they read, and they follow you on your profile and start checking you out more. And by the end of the same week, they are paid for your high ticket offer. Does that sound too good to be true? Right? Well, it is actually normal in my world, and it can become normal for you too. Before I get into the training, let me super quickly introduce myself to those of you who are new to my world. So, my name is Anne Ryan. I'm a business mentor and a money mindset coach, and I help my clients who are coaches and consultants to package and position their value into high ticket offers so good that they practically sell themselves. I help them to implement the exact strategy that I'll be teaching in today's masterclass so they can take prospects from cold to sold fast. My clients have one thing in common. They have busy lives and they want a business that fits around their life. If you follow the strategies and principles that I teach, it is entirely possible to build a multiple six-figure business working under 4 hours a day. We do this by keeping business simple. If this is something you desire and want to work with a mentor who's not only achieved this, but has also helped clients to reach 30K, 50K, and 100K months doing the same, then drop hashtag support or send me a DM. Now, back to today's training. The speed and quantity of the sales you make really come down to two things, right? Who you're speaking to and how powerfully your content communicates your certainty and your value. Get those two things right and sales stop taking time. You can take someone from cold to sold fast. And here's what I mean. I am not speaking to people who need months of reassurance, right? Or endless freebies. Yeah. I'm speaking to clients who see what they want and they move fast. They have no issues with premium pricing and they trust themselves to make bold investments. When your messaging positions you as the obvious person, right, and speaks directly to these fast moving clients, they don't feel the need to, tiptoe in with a tiny offer and, or think about it for weeks. They know you are the mentor they need and they act fast, right? They might discover you and within days or even hours reach out ready to say, I'm in. How do we start? So let me give you a quick example. One of my clients watched a single 1 hour masterclass, very similar to what I'm sharing right now, yeah, and became a paid client within 4 hours that very same day, right? 4 hours. She found me. She consumed one piece of content, which is long form content, masterclass, right? And then she started to check me out further and knew I could help her. So she jumped in to a high ticket offer of mine 4 hours later. There was no lengthy nurture sequence, no drawn out sales calls. Yeah, just a really fast decision. And this happens frequently. And like I said, over half of my high ticket clients, because I only work with premium clients, have enrolled within 5 days of entering my world. That is the power of speaking to the right person with the right message, right? Now, you might be wondering, okay, great, but how do I actually make that happen? What's the strategy behind this kind of rapid enrollment? Keep watching because that's exactly what I'm going to share. Both the strategic steps and the energetic shifts that make cold to sold not just some catchy phrase, right? But a repeatable process. The first key is knowing exactly who you are talking to, right? And tailoring everything to that person. This is the foundation, and I know you've likely heard this before. There is more that you haven't heard before that I'm going to be sharing in this training, but we need to start at the beginning, right? So keep listening. If your clients need a lot of nurturing before they buy, this is likely the missing piece. I would guarantee that, right? So I consciously create my content for fast movers, right? Those premium clients who are decisive. They're resourceful and already looking for the solution that I offer. They are already looking for the solution that I offer, right? That's the key. These are people who value their time, right? And they want outcomes. So when they find the right solution, they move quickly. And here's something really important to realize. Your next high ticket client is likely already in your audience right now. They are watching, they are lurking, they are consuming, right? They might be silently checking out your posts or profile, trying to decide if you are the one who gets them, right? So to attract them, you need to show them through your messaging that you understand their exact problem and have the expertise to actually solve it. So, how do you do that? By calling out their desires and decision style in your content, right? So I will explicitly reference the traits of my dream clients in posts, right? And in Facebook Lives and trainings, for example. I'll say, I work with clients who see what they want and go for it without hesitation, right? Now, this does two powerful things. It attracts exactly those people, right? And they hear that and they think, yep, that's me. I'm a fast mover. And it subtly repels those who aren't there yet, right? The people who need months of hand holding. They realize my style is probably not for them, and that's okay. Yeah. So don't be afraid to speak to a higher caliber of client, right? High ticket, self led clients want to be spoken to as capable, decisive individuals. They are not stuck or struggling or broken. If you are speaking to stuck, struggling, broken people, then you will never take them from cold to sold in 5 days, right? They don't need saving, right? They don't need saving. They are not turned off by confidence. They are drawn to it. Yeah. They don't need or want you to coddle them. They want you to show that you recognize their power and can match it with your own certainty and expertise. Yeah. So check your current messaging. Are you inadvertently tiptoeing around trying to convince skeptics? Yeah. So many of you are doing that. Or are you talking straight to that fast action taking person? When you elevate your messaging to speak to premium buyers, everything changes. Yeah. One well crafted post can draw in an aligned high ticket client who is ready to change and happy to pay your premium price. I see it all the time in my business, as do my clients, right? These people are out there and they are also in your audience, right? So the second key is how powerfully your content communicates your certainty and value, right? So in other words, does your content do the selling for you? The goal is for your new audience members, the new people who are coming into your world, to consume your content and quickly think, wow, she's the obvious choice. I trust her expertise already. Yeah. And when that happens, the sale becomes a no brainer and often nearly instantaneous. So, how do we create content that has that kind of impact? Yeah. So, a few principles. Lead with generosity and genuine insights. Yeah. Every piece of content I put out, whether it's a Facebook post, a live video, an email, or a masterclass like this, it's meant to solve a real problem or give an aha moment to my dream client. I am not holding back my best ideas only for paid offers, right? I generously share value upfront because I know that if a stranger can get a result or a mindset shift just from my free content, that builds incredible trust. Yeah. They start thinking, if I got this much from an hour of her masterclass, what results could I get if I worked with her closely? Yeah. Which is exactly the thought I want to spark. So demonstrate certainty in your message, right? High ticket clients are attracted to experts, yeah, who are confident in their own value and methods. If you convey any wobble or desperation, they'll sense it. Yeah. So speak from a place of certainty. Share your convictions boldly. For example, I often say things like, you can sign high ticket clients quickly without a giant audience or a low ticket front end offer. I do it all the time. And here's how you can do it too. Yeah. There's no kind of wishy-washy, well, this mostly works, this may work for you energy. Yeah. I speak as someone who knows her process works because it does. Yeah. And because I'm not talking to the people who are stuck, who are struggling, who are not taking action. Yeah. I'm talking to the fast movers, the decision makers, the action takers. Yeah. This certainty is contagious and reassuring to the right people. People buy from people who are certain. Position yourself as the obvious choice, right? This comes from honing in on specific outcomes, right? And identify exactly who your client is and showcase, right? Proof that you have as well. Use client testimonials, share case studies. Yeah. Weave in your own results. I do this all the time. Show that you understand their situation deeply and that you have a proven solution. When done right, by the time someone finishes binging your content, the thought in their head isn't, why should I work with her? Right? It's, why wouldn't I work with her? She clearly gets it and has helped others just like me. Guys, remember, your content can collapse time for your buyer. Yeah. Instead of needing 10 different interactions over 3 months to build trust, a single really well crafted piece of content or, a small binge of a few posts and videos, more realistically, can give them all the information and assurance they need to make a decision now, right? I've had people tell me that after reading one long form post or watching one training of mine, they felt as if I was in their head, right? Knew exactly what they were struggling with and had the answer. So they reached out immediately. This is what I aim for. Content that is so on point and valuable that it effectively does the pre-selling for me, right? So by the time we talk in the DMs, they are 90% convinced. And often we don't even need a formal sales call because the content has handled their objections and shown them the possibility. So, in short, when your message is dialed in and delivered with certainty, your content becomes your best salesperson. It literally works for you 24/7, attracting premium clients and prompting them to take fast action. So that's just the foundation piece, right? Now let's get practical. I want to share the actual strategy and ecosystem I built that allows someone new to my world, right, to make a really quick decision to invest. Think of this as building your own stage, right? and show that your ideal clients, they can't stop. They can't stop watching you, right? So in my case, all my clients do this in a slightly different way, but I just want to share my example, right? In my case, I chose a Facebook group as the container for this experience. Yeah. Now, some of you have experienced things in Telegram too, right? But you can adopt the concept to whatever platform or funnel you like. The key is I didn't treat my Facebook group as just a community forum, which is what so many people do, right? I treated it and still treat my Facebook group as my personal stage. Yeah. It's become the central place where I consistently deliver value and showcase what I do. So here's how it works. Number one, I regularly promote free masterclasses or trainings on my personal Facebook profile, yeah, and in other places as well, in email and so on. Yeah. So, for example, I might announce a live training on scaling to 100K months with one high ticket offer. Yeah. Instead of delivering it out there in the open on my personal profile, wherever, in my emails, wherever, I use it to drive people into my Facebook group. Yeah. Which is in my world. Yeah. When people express interest, I tell them to join my free masterclass inside my group. Now, this is how you've all got here too. This way, I'm not only giving value, I'm also bringing new people into a curated environment. Yeah. Where I can continue the conversation. Number two, when someone new joins my Facebook group, the very first thing that they see is a whole bunch of other valuable trainings. Yeah. I jokingly call it Anflix, yeah, for entrepreneurs. Basically, I've built a library of free trainings and insightful posts as well, all on the topics that my dream clients care about. The idea is that a new person, a brand new person who's come into my world, can binge my best content in one go if they want. Yeah. So I'm being generous by saying 5 days, but literally in a day, they could binge. In a few hours, they could binge, right? They don't have to search the whole internet to find out about me, to learn more, right? I've laid out the most juicy, relevant content right there for them. Yeah. They're not getting caught up in bullshit engagement posts or anything else. Yeah. This binge consumption accelerates their trust and understanding of my expertise. Yeah. They might watch a training or two, read some posts, and they can very quickly make a decision or at least start thinking, yeah, she's speaking exactly to me and she clearly knows her stuff. And equally, some people can disqualify themselves very quickly too, because I am so specific in the content that I'm sharing. Yeah. Number three, I don't just let new members kind of slip in and figure things out for themselves. My team and I actively welcome new members. We tag them in a welcome post that offers a free gift, a high value 3-day masterclass series. Yeah. Or a special training that addresses a pressing problem my ideal client has. Yeah. Yes, I give away a lot. Yeah. But this is what helps people to make a buying decision fast. Yeah. It does two things. It immediately delivers massive upfront value, right? Far beyond the standard freebies, which, quite honestly, the internet is full of free information, right? But this builds a feeling of trust, reciprocity. I find that word hard to say. And it gets them engaged, right? And consuming content the way I want them to consume content. Yeah. We also, my team and I, mainly my team, follow up with a direct welcome in the DMs just to greet them, thank them for joining our group, and we make sure they have a link to another masterclass, right? As a thank you gift. So this personal touch not only surprises people in a good way because they feel seen and welcomed, not like just another number in a group, but they get a curated experience. Throughout all my content, whether it's posts in the group, live videos, or, the welcome sort of series that I mentioned, I invite my viewers and readers to take the next step to work with me. I unapologetically welcome people to work with me every single day. Yeah. I'm not just engaging for the sake of engaging, creating content for the sake of creating content, right? This is key. I'm not shy about letting them know how they can continue their journey with me. It might be a simple line at the end of a post where I might say something like, if you're done waiting months for clients to be ready and you want to start signing premium clients who move fast, send me a DM. Yeah. I'd love to show you how you can do this. Or during a live training like this one, I'll mention if this is what you want and you are ready for accelerated growth, reach out and we can talk about what working together looks like, right? These call to actions are done with so much freaking confidence, yeah, and assumption that my services are a gift. No one is doing me a favor by working with me. My services are a gift to the right person, right? So I never apologize. By the time someone has binge watched my content and seen my certainty, received a direct invitation to work with them, right? None of this feels salesy. In fact, it is so freaking clear what the next step is. Many are relieved to know exactly what to do next. Yeah. With some of you gorgeous women, I have to say, it's like a bit of a mystery. you know, you might think you're being really clear, but you're sharing so much stuff that doesn't really matter, that when someone new, this is what you've got to think about, when someone new lands in your world, how quickly can they make a buying decision? That's the thing. All of these steps create a very curated experience for anyone entering my world. It's not random. It's intentionally designed so that a newcomer can quickly get to know who I am, what I stand for, the results I create, and how they can get those results too. Yeah. Essentially, I've shortened the time for trust building. Instead of needing months and months of following me sporadically to finally be convinced, right? They might go through a hyper condensed know, like, and trust journey, yeah, in just a few days. They see testimonials, social proof, consume my trainings, you know, the value, the expertise, all the things. Interact with me personally in some way, whether it's in the comments, in the DMs. So we're building that relationship at the same time. And they receive a clear invitation, my call to action. Yeah. By day 5, if not sooner, if they are that action taking ideal client that we talked about, they are often ready to message me and say, okay, I've seen enough. I want in. Yeah. And here's the best part. I've done all of this without ever sending a single cold DM. Yeah. Without dancing on reels and without trying to appeal to everyone, because I do not want to work with everyone. So I am not going to try to appeal to everyone. I don't chase clients. I set the stage for them to come to me. There are no spammy tactics. Yeah, it's not necessary. If you design your content and community like a magnet, you won't have to do any uncomfortable chasing. Yeah. Most Facebook groups out there is full of fluff. Nobody cares, right? Nobody's got time for that. Yeah. At this point, you might be thinking, well, that sounds easy for you, right? Maybe you're a natural at this, you know? You're good. You're good. You're good with video, with trainings. You've got a big audience. I want to address that because everyone thinks it's easy for me now. But let me assure you, I started from zero like anyone else and not at a young age either, right? I launched my online business after I turned 48 years old. I am now 55, right? When I started, I had no experience building a social media brand. I had a multi seven figure offline business, so I knew how to scale businesses, but online was a whole different ball game. I had never been the face of my brand. Yeah. I'd never done a video like this before. I wasn't some tech savvy millennial doing TikTok dances. In fact, I've never danced on a reel in my life. Actually, that's not entirely true. I set myself a challenge to take myself out of my comfort zone, and I did it once. I danced on a reel once, but never again because not because it felt uncomfortable. Yeah, it did feel uncomfortable, but it just didn't feel like an aligned way for me. It's not how I want to run my business. I have no desire to dance on reels. Yeah. And I certainly didn't have an audience. In fact, I was barely on social media before I started this business. Yeah. What I did have was a wealth of professional and life experience and a fire in my heart to serve. Yeah. I decided to deliver a boutique style, high impact experience for a select number of clients. I have never worked with hundreds and thousands of people at a time. That is, I would rather not, right? Rather than mass marketing to the whole world, I prefer the more intimate experiences, right? In the early days, I poured my heart and soul into trainings that no one showed up to, right? I remember the sting of that, right? Putting all of that energy into something and hearing crickets. I have been there. Yeah. It would have been easy for me to say, this isn't working. Maybe I should quit or try a different approach, especially when you feel vulnerable, right? Putting yourself out there. And trust me, at 48, starting anew, I had many moments of doubt, right? Many moments of doubt. What made the difference was a mindset shift I embraced from day one. Yeah. I decided to build my business from my heart, not from my ego. Yeah. And here's what I mean. When you are building from your heart, you stay committed to your mission and the people you want to help, even if the external validation, the likes, the views, the comments, the engagement, the sign-ups, right? They're slow at first. You show up to serve again and again and again because you know in your heart, you know in your soul, that's what you have. That what you have is valuable and that's what you have to do, right? And eventually you will connect with the right people. Heart driven scaling means you can't help but succeed eventually. Yeah. Because you are in it for the long game and for the right reasons. When you are building a business from ego, you are heavily attached to the immediate outcomes and how it makes you look, right? If something you try doesn't get attention the right, you know, immediately the right way, the ego feels bruised and says, well, that was a waste of time, this isn't worth it. Ego driven entrepreneurs will stop showing up consistently. If they don't get instant success because the motivation was tangled up in needing validation. That's why today I am here, right? Taking people from cold to sold in 5 days or less because I have shown up consistently and I've built a system that works. Yeah. And I've helped other people to do it too. I see this so often. Someone tries, they try going live or posting value a few times, you know, don't get the they don't get the engagement or the leads that they hoped for. Their ego is bruised and then they retreat or switch tactics frantically. Oh, well, that didn't work. Everything works, right? But you've got to be in it for the right reason. Ask yourself, are you scaling from your heart? Are you on this mission no matter what? Or are you scaling from your ego? This is a tough love question, right? And I had to ask this of myself too. When no one showed up to my first masterclass, my heart told me, even if one person watches the replay and is helped by this, it's worth it. Keep going. They will come. Yeah. But of course, my ego, of course, was sulking, right? This is so embarrassing. Why bother? You're 48, Anne. Just give up. You've got the money. You don't need to do this. Truth, right? This is the truth. And I know some of you can relate to this. I chose not to let my ego keep me playing small because that's what egos do especially well. Yeah. Whether you're middle-aged or whether you are much younger, your ego will have a story to tell, right? You're too old for this or you're too young for this. You know? I kept at it week after week, week after week. I did this, right? Delivering value, refining my message, staying true to my vision of serving the clients I knew I could help deeply. And guess what happened? They did come. Slowly at first. It took me a while actually to get to 10K months, then 20K months. Then I skipped straight to 50K months and then to 100K months, right? And I have helped my clients to do the same. The same training that once had zero live viewers turned into the training that soon brought in clients and hundreds of viewers. The difference was I kept showing up with heart and certainty before I had the proof that it would pay off, right? This is so crucial, gorgeous woman. Certainty isn't just for when you've made it. Yeah. It's the energy that helps you make it, right? I was already speaking with conviction to those fast action premium clients, even when I had none yet. And eventually they heard me and started showing up. So if you are in that early stage or you've reached a plateau, yeah, every business reaches a plateau too. Yeah. And you feel like you are talking to an empty room. Hang in there. Hang in there. Check if your motivation is heart aligned. If it is, double down, right, on serving and honoring your message rather than doubting yourself. When you persevere with purpose, you literally cannot fail. Yeah. Because every piece of content, every live is building assets and sharpening your skills. You get better, right? And even if the payoff isn't immediate, right? That foundation will bring you exponential returns. And I am living proof of that. Yeah. So let's just switch gears a bit and talk about the energetics behind taking someone from cold to sold fast. Strategy alone is not the full story. Yeah. It's also about who you are being, right? So I often tell my clients, be the woman you want to attract, right? This principle has been an absolute game changer in my business and my life. If you believe in the law of attraction, and I'm guessing you do, right? You'll know the clients you attract will mirror your own energy, your own mindset, and your own behaviors. So think about it. The reason I attract fast decision makers who invest confidently is because I am a fast decision maker who invests confidently. Yeah. The reason my clients generate wild return on investments, right, from our work together, like 30K, 50K, 100K months, sometimes in their first 30 days of working with me. And if not, within the time that they're working with me, it's because I'm the type of client who shows up fully for my investment, who implements incredibly fast and allows myself to be coached. I fully surrender to the process. Yeah. That's a trait my most successful clients share. They dive in and trust the mentorship. Yeah. Doing what you've always done will get you the same results you've always had. Yeah. I didn't come up with that saying. I know you've heard that before. I lead by example in that regard, right? Energy is contagious. If you want clients who are committed, who are decisive, who are all in, you have got to embody those qualities yourself, right? Do you agree? I want you to ask yourself, would I be the client of me? Are you demonstrating the same level of commitment and coachability that you hope for in your buyers? If I'm asking someone to drop 5 figures to work with me, you can bet I have dropped 5 and even 6 figures in mentorship for myself. Yeah. I walk the talk. I never ask a client to do something that I haven't done or I wouldn't do. Yeah. This congruence in energy and action can be felt, right? People can sense it. And on the flip side, if I were hesitant, constantly second guessing, or afraid of investing in my own growth, I'd likely attract similarly hesitant, non committal prospects, right? It's the law of attraction. If I procrastinate and overthink every decision, I'll probably find myself talking to potential clients who do the same. So, to break that pattern, become the client you dream of serving. Yeah. Show up with decisiveness. Value your own work highly. Invest time and money in getting better at your craft, right? And maintain personal integrity with your own goals. That energy will resonate outwards. Yeah. And it will come back as clients who are likewise ready to move. Yeah. Now, I also want to touch on certainty and enthusiasm here, right? Part of energetics is the vibe that you bring. And trust me, I am not always high vibe. Yeah. I lost my dad earlier this year. I am dealing with a very difficult situation with a puppy who I absolutely adore, who might not be with us for too much longer, right? But still, when I show up in my content, whether it's written or whether it's spoken, I strive to be in a state of unshakable certainty, right? About the value of what I offer, regardless of what's going on in my personal life. Yeah. And I bring in sort of genuine excitement because this work matters to me despite what's going on in my personal life, right? And I'm genuinely excited for the person who's about to change their life by saying yes. This is not about being perfect. This is not about being high vibe all the time, right? But I'm excited for my audience because I know what's possible for them. Yeah. That positive, confident energy is felt, right? It's felt in my words, it's felt in my videos. And let me tell you, people feel that because it's freaking magnetic. Many times I've heard from clients, I could feel your energy and passion through your video. And it made me feel confident that I could do it too. That's the power of energy in communication, right? Recently, I did a 2-week high ticket sales bootcamp experience in Telegram. Yeah. And the feedback and the clients who enrolled from that as a result of that experience were, you know, was as a result of exactly what I have shared today. So it was a 2-week experience, but I could easily have condensed it into 5 days. I chose to deliver it over 2 weeks. Yeah. It was less than 5 hours of trainings. Yeah. And people binged it. Even though I delivered it live in real time, so many people came in later and still binged it, right? And they're still binging it now. If you haven't been in that boot camp, drop the word hashtag boot camp and I can get you access to the Telegram if you're curious and want to hear more. So remember, your strategy, the content, the funnels, the tactics is just the vehicle, right? But you are the fuel, right? If the fuel is of low quality, full of doubt, fear, impatience, the vehicle won't run smoothly no matter how good the strategy is. Yeah. This is why you can give the exact same strategy to two different people and they can get very different results. Yeah. So I want you to fill your tank with certainty. Yeah. Lead with generosity and congruence. And the same kind of people will arrive in your experience. So let's just recap and put these pieces together so you can apply this in your own business. Number one, speak to the right people. So important. It is the foundation, right? Make your content do the heavy lifting. Your messaging absolutely matters. Curate a fast track experience for everyone that comes into your world without any cold DMs, right? Stay consistent and heart driven. Yeah. Embody the energy you want to attract, right? Now, imagine implementing all of these pieces. What would it look like? It looks like waking up to DMs from strangers saying, I binged your content and I need to work with you. How can we start? I promise you that is available to you. It looks like skipping this long nurture time frame and signing high ticket deals in a matter of days, not months, right? It looks like confidence on both sides. You feel confident in what you're putting out, and they feel confident in choosing you. Yeah. This isn't just a possibility. This is a strategy and a mindset combo, right? That I and my clients live by. In fact, many of my clients have taken this approach and cut down their sales cycle dramatically, right? Attracting premium buyers who move fast and never again have to wonder, um, when will she finally be ready to buy? Right? Before we close, I want you to truly feel the possibility here, right? Fast sales and premium clients don't have to be some sort of rare miracle that happens. They can be normal. In my world, they are normal. And after today, I hope in your world, they will become normal too, right? You get to set the standard that it's safe for people to make a quick decision, right? That investing at a high level is a positive and life-changing experience, and that you are a trusted authority worth that investment. Yeah. When you firmly believe and embody that, you transmit it to your audience, right? Some will catch that signal and absolutely run with it straight to your DMs. And others, might take a little bit longer because everyone is on a slightly different timeline. Now, we've covered a lot, so let me leave you with this. Cold to sold in under 5 days is absolutely possible when you combine aligned strategy with rock solid certainty. Yeah. Speak to the right people. Deliver binge-worthy value that showcases your brilliance. And this doesn't have to take long, by the way. So I'm not talking about the 5-day cycle. I'm talking about creating this binge-worthy content. Does not have to take long, right? Build an environment that accelerates trust and shows up as powerfully as you are, right? And that you want to attract too. Do this. Do this, and you'll find that strangers become high ticket clients faster than you ever thought possible, right? Now, I have a question for you. Are you done waiting months for buyers to feel ready? Are you ready to start welcoming those clients who see what they want and move now? If you are nodding your head, then it's time to take action on what you've learned today. I'm inviting you to take the next step with me. If this message resonated and you are excited to create this kind of rapid, high value client enrollments in your own business, then let's talk about how we can make it your reality together. Whether that's through my one-to-one coaching or my mastermind, I have proven frameworks to help you implement everything that we've discussed. Yeah. And I would love to support you in shortening the time between you and your next premium client. So drop a hashtag support or send me a DM to learn more about working together. Tell me that you watched this masterclass and you are ready for fast moving premium clients. I'll make sure you get all the details on how I can help you. How I can help you to attract and sign clients who move fast, just like you saw here today. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and allowing me to share my journey and strategies. I hope you got at least one game-changing insight from this session. Remember, gorgeous woman, the speed of your sales can change in an instant, right? When you align with the right message and energy. You don't have to settle for slowly warming up an audience that isn't decisive. You can start speaking to those ready to invest clients today and welcome them this week. Here's to your new normal of clients coming in hot and fast, from cold to sold, you can do it, right? And I'm here to help you make it happen. Let's get those strangers turning into high ticket clients in a matter of days. Imagine your next success story could be just 5 days away. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye.